Hi there. Normally I encourage people to invest in a Kindle e-reader to read all of their books, and I don't recommend using the Kindle app on your phone or a tablet simply because it can get very distracting with all the other apps available on your device. But with that being said, I'm also a very big proponent of utilizing the entire Kindle ecosystem, and that also does include the Kindle app on your mobile devices. What I mean by this is I've actually gone to the extreme step of trying my best to limit my social media apps on my mobile devices and replace them with just the Kindle app on my home screen, and that by itself has allowed me to read more books in those in-between moments during the day. And the Kindle app does have some very unique features that we're not going to see on the Kindle e-reader. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 8 unique features that I've discovered on the Kindle app that you simply will not be able to do on a Kindle e-reader. Now, even if you don't use the Kindle app too much, I do think learning about these features might be useful for you in case you ever use the app in those in-between moments like I do. The first feature that I want to talk about are the reading insights that you have available to you on the Kindle app. I am begging Amazon to bring this feature over to the Kindle e-reader, but until that happens, we only have it available on the Kindle app. Now, what I'm referring to when I say reading insights are basically like analytics and metrics into your reading habit. And I really love this because it really gamifies the process of reading books and it encourages you to read more. When you go to the reading insight section on the mobile app, you'll see things like challenges. You can unlock different challenges depending how much you read or when you're reading and things like that. It really makes it fun, like an achievement you're unlocking. Other things include being able to track the books you're reading every single year. You could even go through and remove books from this list to have a very accurate representation of the books that you're reading. Then also, one of my favorite features are the streaks toward the bottom. I love how the Kindle app tracks the streaks over here. It shows me how many days in a row I've been reading, how many weeks I've been reading for it continuously. Things like this really do encourage me to not want to break the streak and just keep reading every week and just keep that chain going. Now, speaking of reading books, if you are curious about the books that I like to read, I actually have a monthly book club called Presently Reading, where I read a book alongside a community of over 1,000 bookworms from around the world. We read a nonfiction book every single month. If you're interested in joining, it's completely free. I'll leave a link down below for that. Moving on to the second feature that I want to talk about. On the Kindle app, we have the ability to actually change the color of the page that we're reading. Now, obviously on the Kindle e-reader, we only have black and white colors available to us, so having some more flexibility on the Kindle app is expected, but I've never actually tried this, so when I played around with it recently, I was pleasantly surprised of how fun it is. You have a few different color options, such as yellow, mint green, white, black, all the standard stuff. This is especially useful if you are visually impaired or maybe even colorblind. Having these different color options is actually very important for accessibility reasons. With that being said, I actually like using the yellow color option personally because it has that bit of a warm color tone to it and it makes reading a bit easier on the eyes. So if you're reading on your phone a lot, using a warmer color like that might actually make a big difference in the long term. The next feature that I want to talk about is the continuous scrolling feature. Now, this is something I recently started using a lot in another app that I like to use called Reader, which is made by Readwise. I have a whole video talking about that app if you're interested in that. But putting that app aside, I just found this feature very cool to use in the Kindle app itself. Basically, what it allows you to do is read your books as one giant page instead of having to swipe left and right. You just scroll up and down like you're reading one giant blog post on the internet. This is definitely a more unique way of reading a book. If you have anxiety when it comes to length of books and how many pages you're reading and things like that, this is a very fun and clever hack to get around that. All you do is scroll up and down like you're reading one long page. It obviously is a long page that you're reading, but it does remove some of that stress of how many pages you're reading. Moving on to the next feature, this is something that's really unique that I did not expect to find in the settings. It's called the reading ruler. It's really helpful if you struggle with reading a certain language, or maybe you just have hard time focusing on the certain line that you're reading, it basically allows you to have a ruler on the screen so you can drag it up and down as you read a page and keep your eyes focused on the single line of text. I can especially see this being useful for younger people who are reading books for the first time and need help with reading words and things like that, for kids, and especially for older people as well who may have trouble focusing. This is definitely a feature that could be used for a wide variety of applications. I also like how you can change the color of the ruler, so you have some even added flexibility there. So depending on your eyesight or your visual impairments, this could be a very useful feature for any use case. Now the next feature is something I just started using very recently. It's called Immersion Reading. The only downside to this is it does require purchasing both the Kindle ebook as well as the audiobook to unlock the Immersion Reading feature. What Immersion Reading does is it basically allows you to switch very quickly between the audio version of the book and the ebook so you can read both at the same time. It's really interesting. Basically, as you're reading the ebook, you have the audio narrating through your headphones, or you can simply have the audio only and then go back to the Kindle book whenever you want, or have both at the same time. It's a very fun way of reading a book. I personally like having both play at the same time, so I have the audio playing through my headphones and I'm also reading the text at the same time. When you're doing it this way, it'll actually highlight the text that is being read through the audiobook, so you know exactly where you are on the page. If you want to learn more about Immersion Reading, I have a whole video that goes in depth about this feature and how to use it, so I'll leave a link for that on the screen right now as well. The next feature I want to show you is this Discover Books tab. Now, if you know me, you know I do not like recommendations from an algorithm when it comes to finding books. But there's something about this Discover tab on the Kindle app that really changed my perspective a bit. I actually find myself really enjoying digging around through this tab. Maybe it's because it's in color, maybe it's because I can quickly go through and swipe through faster than my Kindle e-reader. Whatever it is, I do enjoy swiping through this Kindle Discover tab over here, just finding random books that I might be interested in. But one specific section that I really enjoyed was the Prime Reading section. If you have an Amazon Prime membership, you actually have access to a whole catalog of books completely for free included in your membership, and finding those books in the Kindle app is a lot easier, in my opinion, than going to find it on the Kindle itself. I don't see myself using this feature too much, but I do like having access to it, and if I'm looking for a new book or want something short through Prime Reading, I have a really great way of finding those books now. Now, the last unique feature that I want to talk about is something that I'm actually pretty surprised is only available on the Kindle app and not on the Kindle e-reader, is the ability to request a refund for a Kindle book that you buy. Now, on the Kindle e-reader, if you buy a book, you will not be able to return it on the e-reader itself. You have to use your phone or you have to go to the computer and return it through there. On the Kindle app, it's kind of the opposite. You don't have the ability to buy books directly through the Kindle app like you can do on the Kindle e-reader, but you do have the ability to return books that you purchased recently. Now, the reason why you can't buy books directly through the Kindle app on your iPhone, for example, is because Apple will charge Amazon an extra fee for in-app purchases, so they just make you buy books through their website instead or through the Kindle e-reader, but they do allow you to make easy returns on the Kindle app. So if you do buy books on your Kindle, for example, or on the computer, you have a very easy way to return them directly through the app. Now, I'm not a big fan of doing book returns. I only do this if I find a book to be very not fun to read, like if it's not giving me any value whatsoever. But if it's even giving me 1 ounce of value, I tend to keep the book and pay for it because I love the idea of supporting authors and supporting books. I think that's really important. Now, alongside the ability to quickly request a refund, we do have other options for support, such as the ability to start a live chat session, as well as a phone call. Now, all of these options will probably bring you through an automated system, but I'm hoping that if you go through it long enough, you'll get connected to a real person. Sometimes even finding the button to request a phone call could be really hard, so I really do enjoy how easy it is to find these support options in the app. And along the same lines of support, there's also a button over here to submit your feedback. I love how Amazon includes this. They are actively encouraging people by having this button there to submit their thoughts and ideas for future software updates. So if there's a feature that you really want to see Amazon roll out on their Kindle platform, you have the ability to submit feedback through that button too. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I strongly want to encourage you to check out my other video with 10 reasons why you should invest in a Kindle e-reader. I think the app has a special place in the ecosystem, but nothing will beat the feeling of using a Kindle and flipping the e-ink pages. It just feels like reading a real book with all the added benefits of technology. Check that video out, link on the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.